What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to another State of Affairs monthly update video on the King Crusoe YouTube channel, this time obviously for August of 2022. Now, a couple things of business before we get into the normal structure. There's a lot of things going on IRL. Normally, I record these State of Affairs videos sometime between the 28th and the 30th, depending on what month it is, like how many days there are in it, and what my schedule looks like near the end of the month. This time around, I'm recording on the 26th of the month because as of the time of recording, tomorrow on the 27th, I'm getting my wisdom teeth removed, and I don't want to push off this video until like this weekend when like the absolute last moment when I need to be able to record it is, and then end up not being able to talk as a result of like long healing process or something for the teeth. I don't want to risk not being able to record these monthly update videos because of my operation. So I'm doing this pretty early. And yes, as you can tell by looking at the room, yes, I changed my room again. I know that the wall back there is very bare at the moment, but don't worry, I do have two more bookshelves, two big bookshelves coming to fill out that wall back there behind me. This will be the final iteration of what this bedroom looks like based on space constraints before I eventually end up moving out next year. But with all of that being said, let's just get right into all of the normal orders of business. First off, some recommended videos from last month. I did finally do my review of The Wastelands by Stephen King and The Dark Tower. And speaking of The Dark Tower, I just mentioned that August and September would feature the old bedroom layout, or at least the old video angle and all of that old stuff. That's because I did end up recording and getting edited all of the Dark Tower related videos for the next 2 months out. Those are all going to be coming out over the next 2 months. And then the other video that I want to shout out is my 5 fantasy series I want to start in 23, and 5 more I want to reread video that I did last month. In fact, that just came out yesterday as of the time of recording this update, so last week. It is handily my most successful video this summer, barring the April and May book haul video from June. Thanks for all of the support on that video. And now for the normal newly released writing announcements. I don't have anything new to announce for this section for now, but I do have a lot of exciting stuff going on again behind the scenes that I will talk about in a couple sections from now. So this section is pretty much already done. Let's move right into the upcoming video announcements that I have. Sorry if it seems like I'm rushing. I just feel like I need to rush because I have stuff going on this week. Anyway, in the book binge, I'm going to have a normal amount of episodes coming out every Monday, with one exception. There's going to be 5 episodes this month because the July reading wrap-up and TBR, the first book binge episode for the month, will be coming out tomorrow, and I have some nice surprises for several of my more consistent viewers and several of my friends on the Discord, so be sure to check out that coming out tomorrow. And then for the 4 remaining Mondays of this month, I have a review for Wizard and Glass by Stephen King, Book 4 in The Dark Tower, The Andromeda Evolution by Daniel H. Wilson, which is a sort of a spiritual successor. Well, it's more of a spiritual successor. It is a sequel to The Andromeda Strain by Michael Crichton. Wind Through the Keyhole by Stephen King, and then Wolves of the Kala by Stephen King, both of those being 4.5 and Book 5 in The Dark Tower, respectively. Like I said, going to be a lot of Dark Tower content over the next couple months. It will be pretty much all done in September, though, so not to worry. And then, of course, I have my normal monthly book haul video coming out on the 12th. That one's actually a surprisingly big haul, at least compared to last month. I wasn't sure how I was going to be able to fit all this stuff because I kept on just splurging, and I spent a lot of money on some nice editions because, well, I had a lot of money to be able to splurge on nice editions, and it's a lot of the reason why I'm getting more bookshelves, because I don't have space. They're all sitting on the floor right over there. Other than the book binge episodes, I don't have any other video content coming out or in the works at the moment. I should be able to get started on some other stuff behind the scenes with some of that as well soon, but nothing to announce as of yet. Now we come to the normal final section of just the announcements for upcoming writing announcements. I haven't managed to work too much on Beneath Perfection, the upcoming novella that I announced sort of in passing last month. I unfortunately haven't been able to get too much work done on that, which makes me pretty sad. I think I've just been spending a lot of time catching up on reading that I missed in June after having COVID. And additionally, I'm just kind of taking advantage of the not having school right now and just been doing an obscene amount of other stuff as opposed to writing. So I should be getting back on that train this month because special announcement time. No dates for anything, obviously, as of yet, but I have begun working a little bit more seriously on Silent Rain again. So I haven't released a chapter of that book since March, and I haven't started writing any more chapters yet. But I have been working with my brother, who does study various personality profile bases, or however you want to describe that. So we've been working on building characters up from the ground up and looking at some of the more major characters that have played a role in the first 6 chapters of the book so far in terms of motivations, desires, weaknesses, kind of looking at them where they would fall on the Enneagram, 16 personalities, the color slash people code, looking at various different factors and being able to build these characters. I feel like this is something that we're both having a lot of fun because my brother really likes to study that kind of stuff. He likes to go over it with people. And I think he's having a really enjoyable time being able to use some of that knowledge and kind of work with me on actually building characters because he read the first 6 chapters of the book that are released on the website so far. He said there's a lot of stuff that he really likes about most of those chapters. There's stuff that he's genuinely interested in and asking questions about. So I'm kind of letting him in on the back end of that and helping him to, or letting him help me create characters because I feel like that's going to be one of my major weaknesses for the majority of my time writing. I feel like this will help me improve my writing in a couple specific ways. Going along that same thought line, if I can have a more firm understanding, a core understanding of what makes all of these important characters them, I feel like they can act more naturally um, and follow their own nature on the page, something that they just kind of do when I'm writing them, so that I'm not projecting myself onto the characters so that the characters actually themselves. Thus, I can also spend more conscious effort into improving the actual quality of the writing and less time focusing on what this character is doing, just letting them do that and then improving the writing on the back end. Theoretically, this will also help me, bleed that kind of improvement into all of my other writing as well, including Beneath Perfection. So yeah, nothing new to announce yet in terms of dates or stuff that's coming out. Just know that there has been some pretty serious work going on behind the scenes and all of the writing that I'm very excited about. And now we come to the new final portion of these videos, that being the channel and website statistics for seasonal productions. Like I said, I am recording this a little bit early on the 26th instead of the 28th, so some of these statistics are looking at a somewhat smaller window than I would like, as opposed to the full month window. It's a little bit smaller than that, but regardless, I did have some pretty nice engagement this month. So on YouTube, I had 140 total views compared to 141 in June, so pretty much the same for the same window of time. But I had 13 watch hours this month compared to 9.9 watch hours in June, which was itself already more than May before that. So it looks pretty good. I had right about the same amount of views, but a decent amount more engagement. And then I had a net gain of 3 subscribers this month, which was similar to the +3 net gain in subscribers in June. So pretty steady growth as I've kind of seen over the last several months. It's pretty much the same for the most part every month. And now for the website statistics, I did have 96 total web visits compared to 137 in June, so a little bit down, but I had 139 page views down from 157 in June. So for reference, in June, between the amount of page visits that I had or the amount of total website visits versus the page views, it was about 1.1 pages per visit was the engagement. And this month I had about 1.4 page views per visit. So a little bit up in that regard. So overall conclusion is it hasn't been a bad month. A little bit less on the views and visits compared to last month, just a little bit, but plenty higher retention amongst the people that did come around, which I'm perfectly happy with. Thanks again for all the continued and consistent support every month to all of you guys who check everything out. The content has been a little bit lower the past couple months, which I apologize for. I haven't been making any of my extra Friday stuff, but I'm grateful to have anybody supporting any of this in the first place. So again, thank you for that. And again, just as I mentioned earlier, be sure to come back tomorrow for a great rating wrap-up video with a nice surprise in there, and head to seasonalproductions.com for all the content that is available there. Like I said, I have some writing stuff going on in the background, and if you want to bookmark that site for when some of that stuff does eventually start coming out, I'd greatly appreciate that. I'll be back again tomorrow.